Pitbull, the sponsor of Fast and Furious, because you know we gotta do close-up shots to women's butts.
Fast and Furious, powered by Pitbull. Hi everybody, it's 3 Black Geeks. This week we are doing Fast and Furious, starring Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, and
Jordana Brewster.
Jordana Brewster. Technically, Gal Gadot.
He's Sun King.
Sun King. He's there. Yeah. He's definitely there.
And someone who supports Israel. Anyways.
Hey, Kurt Harris, calm down, man.
No, I will not.
Harris, look. So
I will not. I will not. No.
All would like the noisy neighbor to quiet down. So I don't know why.
Can I be real with you? I was like Thanos in Fast 10 Part 1 when she popped up in that sub, and I was like, you couldn't live without your failure. It's where that bring you back to me.
And I saw her, and I heard that stumbling acting of hers. I'm like, no,
Dude, she didn't say anything. She just opened up the sub and just stared.
You don't understand Gal Gadot. That's 80% of her acting. It's
Clark,
scary.
Clark, no.
Clark. Let me tell you something. There ain't nothing worse than looking at a pretty ass Barbie doll that don't know how to talk.
You know what sucks?
There's nothing worse.
You know what sucks? I still go.
Thing is defective.
No, here's the thing, and I'm not going to give revisions about this. I big upped her after the first Wonder Woman movie.
I did too, because I thought she actually did pretty good. Here's the funny thing. I think she can do action. Note what she's doing. Not fucking talking.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't like when she, like that. She really sold me like, oh, that's Wonder. Like she sold me like, okay, shit, she cool.
She sold me when sold me when they was in the boat. She had all of that flat ass, but all of that hip was hanging out to say I want some dick. Beautiful scene. Directed by a woman, by the way. Beautiful scene.
But my thing, the thing about this movie, okay, so Fast and Furious. So moderate hit that Tokyo Drift was, the studio was like, hey, we saw the big pop that Vin Diesel had at the end of Tokyo Drift. All right, Justin, do a movie where more or less this picks up after the end of Too Fast, Too Furious. And essentially, we're going to get into that because that's why Dee asked me last episode, this is my least favorite. It's one of those situations where, and this is where you start picking up that when they brought Han back in Mexico, it confused the shit out of a lot of people because it was like, what the hell's going on? And then that's when you realize
we had a lot of niggas like Chris. It would be cool if what's the face come back.
No, the line was justice for Han, justice for Han, justice for Han. I am going to say this. It took five movies to bring Han back from the dead.
But my thing is this though, like,
movies.
But do you want to know? Eris is on the phone telling me how Han came back, and I wanted to do nothing more but to throw my phone into oncoming traffic.
My thing was like Han. If there were a lot of things that came out of Tokyo Drift.
First of all, Super Smash, you ain't right.
We mentioned that. We mentioned that in the Tokyo Drift episode. Like a lot of critics was like, Lucas Black is too old to be really acting like he in high school. Easy, like I remember that. That was one of the critics. Like that was really their only gripe, more or less, with Tokyo Drift. Is like I'm supposed to believe.
Hey Chris, don't do that. Critics had a bunch of
no. But I'm saying one of the critics that I remember watching, like that was really his kind of sticking point because it's like they didn't hate Lucas Black. It's just if you want to get a high schooler, why would you go to Lucas Black though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
also,
this is what happens. No, this is what happens when you got nobody from the first two movies to come back for this project.
Also, it's what happens when you have that one producer, in my opinion, who had the right idea. Anthology, guys. Anthology.
Well, anthology until Vin Diesel popped up at the end, so that
was only because the test audience did not like the ending. And
I know. I'm just saying,
Chris, and also you mentioned that Vin they Justin, we need to do this and that. No, you're not fronting it the right way. when they found out that they could bring Vin back to the fucking series, they moved his name from starring to executive producer at that point.
And that was all because Vin made that happen. Vin only came back to do. He only came in to do Tokyo Drift because he made that deal happen.
On top of that, what was going on during the time is a real weird shift in Vin Diesel's career. Because during that time, he had to do several different movies. And one of them was, if I'm mistaken, was that Babylon movie he did with
Babylon AD.
Babylon AD, which was one of the worst films of that year. And on top of that, it was a nightmare. Michelle Yeoh hated it. Vin Diesel really hated it. Everybody hated it.
It was a situation like Babylon. Babylon AD was one of those movies where it's like, I think Vin had a vision of what he wanted that movie to do, and the studio was like, nah.
No, yeah, exactly. All the actors, it was bad for the actors because the actors couldn't suggest nothing, couldn't do this, didn't want to do that, and all that. It was it wasn't just a good place to film. Nothing was good to film for that, and it was really hell on Vin Diesel because it affected him not only as an actor, but it made him to see everything differently. And that was the beginning of that. And so that was the beginning of that. And then like a year later, boom, Tokyo Drift, boom, that happens. Boom, he's the executive producer of the series now.
But here's the ironic part about that. The stuff that happened on Babylon AD, turn around, you get a movie that actually has a fan base, funny enough, and that's The Last Witch Hunter. And Vin actually enjoyed doing that movie, apparently, because it's like he had an idea of what he wanted to do in that movie that he couldn't do in Babylon AD. And that was part of the reason why, like, he did The Last Witch Hunter, because it was like, no, I have an idea of doing an urban fantasy. And yeah, it wasn't that great of a movie to most people, but
let me put it this way. He, like you said, he was in control of what was going on there. He had suggestions. He was being listened to.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of it. And you are exactly right. Even though, like you said, when you said Last Witch, I'm like, wow, ow.
But God, there are people that
my brain to bring up that movie in my head.
There's a fan base for that movie that I didn't know of until like Twitter and all that stuff. You find out about that stuff. Despite
what Babylon did, remember he already put out the Riddick series at that point, and like Vin had a real fucking resume at that point. So when he got pushed up to executive producer, it was just a smooth sale for him, and that's when we be getting, and what D likes to say, and you know what? I love your Dissel. I can say this. That's when you became lazy. But it's okay, V. It's okay, V. It's okay, Big V. We got Triple X3. That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted. We came to play today.
The thing about Fast and Furious with him being exec, this does feel like a movie that does take place after Too Fast, Too Furious, and it does work, and it works in a way because it is kind of like that was one of the things that people were wondering was like, okay, so he left Mexico and went to Tokyo. Okay, cool, and then you get into this movie and you see Han, and it's like, oh, this is a prequel to. Okay, so this is directly after Too Fast, Too Furious, and okay.
And like I said, we sat through 5 prequels. 5 prequels.
This is a weird series.
Highly cerebral.
Highly cerebral. Chris, I don't want to blow your head back. I don't want to blow your head back here. But the words, God, the Neil deGrasse Tyson level of thinking that has to go into these movies, spectacular. Love the Fast series now.
Look, if you want to talk, this is again, we've talked at length about how I said Too Fast, Too Furious is where the shenanigans started. D said it's the ending to Fast Furious 1. I would go so far as to say this is where Vin Diesel being executive producer kickstarted the even more shenanigans times a billion. Because this whole thing in Mexico, where they're stealing gasoline, and apparently that is a real thing, okay? But the way in which they do it and the way this whole thing ends is like, wait.
What happens is, because in real life, Chris, this is what they do. They surround said truck try to drive off the road if the truck driver wants to be brave, take out the shotguns. 9 out of 10, kill the driver, take everything.
Thank you.
And this one, you know what Mr. Dissel said? Yeah, Dissel. You know what he said in this one? How can we use the cars? How can I make sure this Grand National gets seen through the whole city?
Let me tell you something.
One thing I would give, like Chris, yes, I agree. Yes, I stand by what I said. The shenanigans started at a 1.
Yes.
But if you really want to see the curve of the road where it's been a long way, when it splits off, it's at this movie. Because this one, we're still trying, race cars and pink slips. Pussy.
I mean, but to be fair though, now I will say this, to be fair, I also felt Vin was like, all right, I'm coming back to a series. The first 3 movies had measures of racing involved in the film, right? Even if it wasn't, there was racing
primarily about racing.
Yeah. So because even in Too Fast, they're undercover, but they're doing some variation of racing of some kind in the movie, right?
And Chris, that's when it begins to take a back seat, and we never see it again.
And I feel
we only see sprinkles of it throughout the rest of the series when it comes to cars and racing.
And I feel him being executive producer, his mind, which makes sense, probably was, all right, if I'm coming back, I can't do the whole we're racing for pink slip bullshit again, right? And that makes sense because, hey, you want to revitalize the franchise. I get it, right?
And here's the weird thing. You can do that. Here's the problem. We're trying to make a franchise and make sure it's still popular. Even if, and I'm just going to throw it out there, there's probably a chance they would have winged it, and they still could have actually did pretty decent with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we weren't going to get 2 more sequels after this. We probably at best would have got 1, and it would have went straight to HBO. You know what I mean?
So what they did was, Vin was like, all right, we're going to go crazy with this movie, and it's going to kind of be the pretty much what we're going to get for the franchise going forward, which is heist, intrigue, cars, maybe racing, but not really.
Don't worry. Family, of course.
Yeah, family.
Which, by the way, looking at this movie, I hate that line family. Because looking at this movie where it's like, yo, Dom, shut up.
Also, is this where we can officially say that Vin Diesel ended up becoming the spokesperson for Corona beer?
Chris, Vin has always been the spokesperson.
I know, but the first movie was kind of there, but this one was like
no,
heavy.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because let me paint the picture for you one more time. I'm gonna paint the picture one more time for you. You can have any drink that you want as long as it's a Corona. That was a commercial right there.
That's true.
But this one, they were showing it every time they're doing their Vin after they get the gasoline, they drink Coronas on the beach. Oh, Vin gets back to LA after he sees Letty at the grave site and stuff. I'm drinking a Corona. Oh, hey, I meet Brian and them in the little super duper junkyard secret hideout. We got bottles of Corona. Like,
hey, Chris, you said it for me, super duper junkyard. Thank you. You beat me to it.
Like, Coronas, even when they're meeting with the bad guys, we drink Coronas.
Yeah, Coronas.
You know what I got a taste for, guys? Corona.
I want
something that tastes just like piss, but is actually better than Budweiser, but it's going to give me more buzz than something.
Hey, Chris, you got to remember that since this 4th movie is literally the soft reboot of the entire franchise,
that part,
they had to up all of the crap that came from the first 2 movies. So, hey, Vin likes Coronas, so we're gonna make that his calling card, if you will. Like anytime he's got to meet with somebody, if he's got to sit down somewhere, or if he's contemplating life choices, or if he's about to go full superhero mode and be completely invincible, he needs his superhero juice, and which is the Corona. Because let's be real. Let's be real. This movie is what jump-started Vin being a literal superhero throughout the entire film.
My man is dropping
Like for the rest of the franchise.
He's dropping an engine into his fucking damn Charger, and he's drinking a Corona as he's holding on to the fucking chain to keep the engine from not dropping. And just, I'm like, all right, man, cool, I guess, man, sure, got you. Like, you're just building engines out the blue for a race.
And you want to know why the Corona being what it is what I like to call his superhero juice. For one thing, because you have to be drinking Corona for you to go to the crash site of where Letty supposedly died, and you get like video imagery.
How did you know How did you know Laz Lonzo killed your girl?
That's what I'm saying.
One of my favorite.
Like, you get to see like actual video imagery of the car spinning out of control, crashing. You see some dude coming out, walking up to Letty and shooting her.
Hey, Aris, you know what I like the best of that scene? That somehow, some way, Dom and not the police investigators, he looked down and saw something on the ground that looked very familiar too.
Smelled it
a little bit.
Nitrous
and Eris, and that is how he had the recreation of Batman, seeing how the bullet came into the window.
Yes,
he went full detective mode.
You remember? Okay, we had two other movies.
Augmented reality activated.
We had two other movies where we had a situation like this. First movie was when we did Twister, where we saw Bill Paxton walk outside, put his hands in the dirt, looked in the sky. Looks like there's a tornado coming. Like, he knew it. We had another movie. Oh, God, what the fuck was that? Where somebody literally touched the ground, like, still warm. It's like, because
you know what that is? You know what that is? That is the white people co-opting us as black people that know how to smell the rain in the air, because we know it's going to rain.
We're seeing how this is Vince. He had 50% of those powers anyway.
You're right.
I'm actually starting to question how black Vin Diesel is. But
he's like a quarter black, I think.
He's purely octoroon. That's all I know.
Hey, look. I told D this joke. I was like, well, he did make the front cover of Ebony magazine, so I guess he is black. Sure.
That's the one thing I give certain. I would give Vince that. Vince. I would give Mr. Diesel. I would give Mr. Diesel Octane this. Is that anytime a black person say, "Hey man, bring your black ass over here," you know what Vince? You know what he didn't say? Guys, I'm actually a quarter. He never did that. You know what he said? Man, y'all niggas crazy, bro. like yeah.
Which I gotta be real
for
a guy.
He knows he's a nigga.
But yet, this man played the most convincing Italian in Knockaround Guys. Crazy, right?
Oh my god, in Knockaround Guy and Boiler Room, he played white guy. Very well.
Douchebag
bald white guy. Very well. Bald half black man who was never raised by his black people. He played that very well.
Now, folks, Brian is back in the FBI because you see his black comrade in Too Fast, Too Furious is like, if you do this job for me, I get you back in and clear your record.
Sir. Bilkins.
Yeah, Bilkins got him back into the fold.
Tom Berry, sir.
I'm naming characters.
Bilkins got him back into the fold, and on top of that, his boy. What's the guy's name? Actor that he fucks up. Damn it, I forgot his name. But his coworker reminds him of Bilkins getting him back in his job and how he's on thin ice already because of that shit. And I'm like, but guys, he got the job. Why are you bringing up old news at this point?
Because he's a loose cannon.
Brian,
and apparently,
what did you find out?
And apparently that I guess that garage in Miami I deal with Tyrese didn't work out because it's been five years. Which, Chris, remember we went to go see this movie and we were like, God, how much time passed? Like, how long has it been?
5 years. I was like, Jesus.
It took the middle of the movie for Jordana Brewster to say, is that really all that you have to say to me after 5 years, Brian?
That's Brian having adventures in Miami, had extra money from Tyrese, fucked around and said, "Hey, I want to go back. I'm going to go back and be a cop in L.A." Which means that you avoided this woman. You avoided her.
I mean, when you got every cop in LA after you pretty much had no choice.
No. I'm talking about when he got reinstated after Too Fast.
Oh yeah, when he got reinstated.
The fact that you avoided this woman for that long,
no. Technically not. Technically, he didn't avoid her. You want to know what he was doing? He was doing the Alex Murphy bit from RoboCop 2, where he would just see her in the background. He would just be driving. He'll go past the Toretto house, and
hold on, Eris. You can hear his neck moving.
I gotta say, for the record, did we did RoboCop 2, right?
If we did
the whole RoboCop series.
Yeah, we did.
I still feel that is the most saddest part of RoboCop. The fact that like his family
no more. Yeah, I know.
Well, no, it's just the fact that his
family
wife
moved. They moved out of the house.
I'm just saying, like the fact that like before they moved out after when he did his pull around, I was like, damn, his own wife don't want to have shit to do with him. Like
no, that wasn't true. She actually came back. Remember, in the second movie, she came back and she's like, "Look, I don't care." When she said, "I don't care," she was talking about she don't care. Like, she want to know if that was really her husband. And because OCP is OCP, pretty much the Trump administration. No, because OCP is the Trump administration, they literally programmed it into his head and had him look directly into his wife's eyes and say, "This face is a symbol. They made this for him to honor him. Your husband is dead. I don't know you."
Can I be real?
Broke that poor woman's heart. She was willing to be She was willing to be okay with it. And,
I don't owe child support.
Terrible. But that's what Brian was really doing. He was always seeing her from afar.
It's like just say, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm sorry that I put you in this position. Can we be friends?" Nah, you want to do that.
Well, see, and again, if you actually looked at the deleted scenes from the first movie, he actually did go back to the house after he quit being a cop. I know they don't count. But I'm just saying, they legit actually did the whole. Can we start again? Yeah, we can start again.
Why he's on the run? Like
he wasn't even on the run. Like the cops actually he told his what's his name? Like he told the cop that he was working with, not Bilkins, but the one that the sergeant that he was working with. He was the one that not Hamdi, the one that he was driving. The one he was working undercover with. He told him like, "Yeah, I'm turning in my badge, yada yada yada." Like I quit. When he quit the force, he just went to the Toretto house. He had no idea where Dom went, but he went in just to make up and start the relationship all over again with his sister.
Well, you know what Brian did though.
He didn't go with that ending because we would have never got any of the sequels at that point.
Well, here's the reality of it. And I don't know, Eris, if you were laughing in the theater with me after Vin fucking said "fuck your triangle hold" and power bombs to the table.
Yeah.
No, not that. It's the scene where he was like, "She did it for you, man," and he's on the ground.
Dude, fucking. I was crying at that part. Nah, Chris, this was you when Brian thought that he was doing something. My man thought he was cooking by putting him up. As soon as you saw that leg go around his neck,
I was like, "Oh shit, he might put him in a sleeper hole." Like, all right, and Vin was like, "Nah, bitch."
When you thought that I remember seeing you was like, "Oh snap, he's about to do it." I'm like, dude, that ain't gonna work. This is Vin Diesel, and this is the fourth movie, and he's got all the rights to everything.
Also,
when I saw him lift him up, bro, when I saw him lift him up, I was like, and there's the power bomb. I'm like, dude, Vin is the most broken character in the entire franchise.
So what we have here is Brian has been chasing after this drug lord, Braga, played by John Ortiz. Well, at least in the beginning of this movie, Braga is a mysterious figure, and John Ortiz's character is sort of like the lieutenant to Braga.
And we think that old man Mexican here with the suit and tie is Braga.
I like how they went with an unnamed Mexican. They could have got like, I don't know, Paul Rodriguez or somebody.
They grabbed a nigga named Manuel
Dude, you know how
told to be old and look important.
How dope would it have been if, just like we got Sony Chiba in Tokyo Drift, they got my man from Stand and Deliver to play the fake Braga.
Almost.
Yes, they got almost to play fake Braga. I'll be like,
James
yes.
almost. No.
James almost don't want to do that. James almost don't want to do nothing
check,
fun.
Man.
He don't want to do nothing fun. You know that.
Hey, Sony Chiba didn't look like he wanted to do Tokyo Drift for fun, but that check cleared, didn't it?
Shut the fuck up. First off,
I mean, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But you know who? No, you know who else would have worked? But I'm pretty sure he would have said no. F. Murray Abraham.
Oh man, he would have been a dope fucking like.
Let him come back as Omar.
Fucking shitty ass mustache.
Hey, Eris. Hey.
Come back as old man, like Omar Suarez. Thank you. Yes. No risk, no reward.
I think Eric. Look, I go with F. Murray Abraham more than what's his name?
Almost.
Yeah. I think F. Murray Abraham would have worked. Maybe not, but I think it would have worked.
Actually, see, and that's when Justin Lin would have been like, all right, we gotta make this an interesting plot.
Hey, Chris, Justin Lin's an action director. He's not gonna tell nobody how to act.
Sir, he did Star Trek Beyond, probably one of my favorite Star Trek movies, actually.
Hey, Chris, I stand by what I just fucking said.
He does drama. Better luck tomorrow. Yeah,
that's not his high mark. Don't do that. Look, you're allowed to. I'm not calling Justin. Actually, I am proud of Justin Lin's actual growth as an action director.
Because he told Vin Diesel, "Fuck no, it's Fast 10."
Exactly. I love his actual growth as an action director. That being said, this ain't a Sorkin movie. Shut the fuck up, Chris. What do you think this thing?
Yeah, but so basically, Brian has been using Letty in order to broker a deal where if Letty can get Braga, then somehow the deal will be made to get the family back together in LA and Vin will be cleared of charges, which I'm like, that's a lot of leaping logic.
Yeah, that's a lot
of like, and as we know at the end of this movie, the California judge system is like, yeah, it's cool, you got that drug lord, but your ass is still going to jail, buddy. So
it can't be. I'm the star of the movie. How does that work?
They said it doesn't matter that you got the drug lord in jail. You gotta go to jail because you stole all them fucking DVD players and shit. So, whoops.
Whoops a doodle.
So he used Letty to try to get down Braga. It didn't go well. Letty died. She leaves in the middle of the night to work for Brian and stuff. And basically, the whole situation goes like this. Braga has people carry drugs from Mexico to the U.S. And how he does it is a super duper secret underground tunnel through the mountains that goes from Baja Mexico to San Diego, basically. So I'm like, first off, how did y'all build that shit without getting caught by the Border Patrol?
Cartel rules, duh.
I mean, even with them cameras pointed right at the fucking border.
Well, they might have been They might have been pointed. They might have been pointed at the border, but hang on. See, remember where they were? They were just a wee bit outside of that jurisdiction, that viewpoint.
And come on, Eric, Chris, you saw the last scene. You see how deep and long that tunnel was.
Yeah, that was very
5-mile tunnels to do an action scene in. Jesus.
Which I would hate to get. Well, hey, no more tunnels now because Vin made sure of that shit.
Yep.
It's like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna blow this whole tunnel up.
I'm gonna crash a Plymouth into a corner and watch the whole thing collapse.
The guys, Vin, I'm gonna crash the Plymouth. No, jump from my car, go into the other car, push the other guy out. Which, by the way, Vin has done that in every movie from this point until the end of the series. Vin jumps from car to car, kicking out the other person like a GTA character, yeah? Every single time.
Me and Sue said that in the movie theater. Sue was like, GTA, motherfucker, bam.
Yeah, because the thing that always got me was I remember how much of a prized possession that Challenger, like the Challenger was for him because
Mhm.
that was the car that him and his dad built. But I'm like, dude, in the first movie, you crashed it and Letty, brought it back and tried to bring it back to life. You actually finished it. You got it up and running, and then you crash it in a cave in Mexico. Dude, that car is gone forever. Much like the RX-7 that you had in the first movie. We never see any of these cars again.
Sir, that RX-7 is still chilling inside that
It
abandoned
is still
That
garage.
chilling
RX
beside that.
that
Yeah,
RX
it
seven
is. It's
got
still sitting.
stolen.
It's still sitting in the parking garage.
Fuck you. That thing got stolen. That got stolen a long
Or
time
or
ago.
or it was sitting inside the fucking LA fucking tow yard, and then it got sold on the
It
fucking
got
it got sold in one of those fucking
that
auctions.
thing a cube.
Because
No, that thing's a cube, man. It's a
I
cube
gotta
with that.
say,
It's a cube with those other cars that Eric said in the first movie that are cubes now.
oh yeah, everything from Motor X.
I mean,
No,
no,
because and you know what? And speaking of cars, shout out to Jordana Brewster. If you had any input on what kind of car you get to drive in this movie, shout outs to you, girl. You got taste. Because how do you go from driving around in a regular old Acura Integra in the first movie to homegirl is running in the NSX?
because she's in Southern California. That makes perfect sense.
NSX during the height. Well, not necessarily the height, but like the beginning stages of that car being somewhat unobtainable at the time.
Also, let's be real. She low key still had the money that Dom and them got from stealing vehicles, so I'm pretty sure she
I
was able
mean,
to make that hook that up.
yeah, from ripping off 18 wheelers and stealing DVD player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he tucked away some money for her in that house and stuff. Because full well Don did all that shit, probably paid the house off and shit. Come on, you know that.
Dude, the house was paid off probably before they did all of it.
Well, as we saw in Fast 9, when he kicked John Cena out the family, he had to do
Dude,
what he
I swear every time I see that part, I'm like, dude, you ain't no, come on. He'll be back. I'm like, John Cena will be back. If there's anything we know about these Fast and Furious movies, unless you're dead, you're coming back. You are coming back in a sequel of some kind.
Also, what would have made them believable as brothers if they actually had a scene where he was watching the first race in Fast and Furious in the background and some little weird CG.
That would have been funny.
If they really wanted to keep it close, if they really wanted to fucking bring it full circle, you had to do that. Because I just think, I know we're diverting away real quick, but just like that was the only thing about it. I was like, if they just had a scene where he was just in the background watching Dom during that whole thing, that would have been a nice little touch. But nah, I guess that's too much to ask.
Somewhere in Earth 841.
It's like a CGI.
No. John Cena and Ja Rule team up.
Nah. So
Oh,
he used Letty to go after Braga. Didn't go well. Letty leaves in the middle of the night, and she does come back. She leaves a necklace behind, and then that's when he finds out that she's dead. And then you end up finding out that it's because Brian was using her to get Dom and the gang back from Mexico and stuff. Which
yeah, I mean, basically, they were both doing it for him. Like, hey, look, she came to me to say, hey, look, I'll work with you to bring down Braga if you can bring Dom home and all charges are cleared. Now, very tall order, I will admit.
It is a tall order because you're
because-
asking them to just turn the other way on.
Because, like, on all the crimes that he committed in the first movie and anything else in between, you're asking for all that to be wiped clean.
Hell
Just for taking down a Mexican drug lord.
That's why I said, if you saw what happened, and again, in this movie, the judge was like, "Nah, buddy, that's cool. We thank you for your service, but you're going to jail."
Like, no, one right does not make up a lifetime of wrongs. I was like, bro, you know what?
Had a black.
When I heard that, Chris, I was like, son, this was the I was in a real war speech from dead presidents.
Here's the thing. I would say the difference between that is Martin Sheen was being a dickhead on that as a judge in that movie. All right, like I get it. People died. Cool. You want to send a message. That's great. Could have just said, "Hey, you're guilty. I'm sorry, son, for what you did." No, he said, "I fought in a." Like, come on, bro.
I fought in a real war.
Come on. Like, what?
You keep on, like Chris. That was a white man that was born in the 30s. What
I
are you
know.
talking
Oh,
about?
I know that. Now the judge telling Vin Diesel, "Hey, one right doesn't sit there and do the wrong." I was like, "Well, that's not
Like, it
really
does
harsh
not make up a
because
lifetime of wrongs.
like I can't put that in the same correlation, but I kind of get it but at least the judge over in Fast and Furious made a point. It's like that's cool, but like,
Dude, he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
I mean, people died.
Yeah.
People died under
Yes.
Vin's watch.
That's what
Yes.
Vin got.
And that's what he deserved. Yes.
Why?
I
Because
keep
he never.
saying it.
No, why, D? Because he never narked on nobody.
Because he's black. That's why.
I
Is
never
he?
narked.
Hold on. Stop. Now we know what Vin Diesel is.
Life
What is
without
Dominic Toretto?
According
We
to
know what Vin
according
Diesel
to
is.
no, according to Cipher, when she was
What?
looking up the family
Go home.
history of the
Go the
Torettos,
fuck home. Eris, go
he
the fuck home.
he
Go
has
home. Go
according
home. Stop talking. Stop
no
fucking
no
talking.
stop
Go home.
interrupting me. According to her examining Sita's background, I didn't know there was a hint of Greek in y'all. I'm like, oh, so the Torettos is just one big mixing bowl of white.
Just a
Gotcha.
mixing bowl of brown,
Of brown and white.
of bronze white people.
Look, Vin is literally Oscar Isaac. We don't know what race he is. He could be Mexican one day. He could be, Native American another day.
I am convinced Oscar Isaacs is just a white man that knows low-level Spanish. I am convinced of that.
First of all, don't say low level because now I'm thinking he's a grunt in some video game or whatever.
Yes, he is.
No, Oscar Isaac is Solid Snake. He is Solid Snake, sir. Oscar Isaac is Solid Snake.
Iroquois Pliskin.
Iroquois Pliskin.
He's
junior grade.
He's Alaskan, Native American, and somehow Japanese.
Just like we found out Keanu Reeves was Japanese. I was like, that white man is Japanese? Wow.
Keanu. Whoa. No, Keanu, I believe it. I believe with Keanu. Look at Keanu. He looks like he's a little bit of everything. He looks like a Markiplier.
Yeah.
He looks like he's good.
Yeah. Just like Christian Kruk is Japanese. Cool.
Chinese.
Chinese. First off, hold on.
Chinese,
Eris, we need to have this conversation. Chris, are you racist?
I just remember people. I just remember there was a
no. Don't hit that. I remember there was a day shit. Don't do that. Don't do that, Frederick. Mad that the world is changing on him.
No.
Hey, Chris, come on, man. Tell us honestly. Are you?
Look. We're friends.
You're with family.
Look, I think we were all shocked when she got the role of DEI Chun-Li.
Not really. Because when I heard that she was what, a quarter Chinese or something like that, I'm like,
she's half. She's half.
Either way, I was like, they were either gonna go with her or Jamie Chung.
So Oscar Isaac, funny enough, he's Guatemalan Cuban.
Yeah, Solid Snake.
Solid Snake. Him white. You're Guatemalan and Cuban. That makes you. Italian? That makes you Italian? I think that makes Italian. Hold up. I think that makes Italian.
But anyway, so the main bad guys, like I said, we got Braga and we got his lieutenant played by Laz Lonzo. And
Laz Lonzo, who I couldn't recognize as a DC nigga because they gave him the spicy filter. God,
sir, Laz Lonzo.
Adobo filter.
You know what, man? Laz Lonzo is one of those guys who, first movie I seen him in, no bullshit, was Jarhead. He was in that movie. But it's kind of funny how Laz Lonzo in the black community is very beloved in a way that's like, it's like he's a very consistent actor.
I feel like Laz Lonzo,
the Billy Kane of this movie.
Yeah, he really is. Except instead of the American bandana.
You call this nigga the Billy Kane of the fucking movie.
Not American, the London, sir.
London, UK.
The UK bandana. And yes, I did call the Billy Kane because guess what, D? Guess what? In the King of Fighters Destiny CG anime, they gave Billy Kane the Laz Lonzo haircut from this movie.
Did they?
They
Fun
did.
fact. Fun
Quit
fact.
fucking with me. Quit
fun-
fucking with me.
fun
That's,
fact.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm
that's
not.
actually funny.
You want to talk? You want to talk about humble beginnings? This is the same last.
Because he's not a
Lonzo.
blonde in that. He's not a blonde in that show.
Fun fact though. If you want to talk about humble beginnings, my man was in the second Leprechaun movie as one of the lead characters.
That's what's up.
The second Leprechaun movie?
Hmm
Are you sure about that?
I think that was the one with Ice-T, I believe.
I thought that was like Ice-T would
No,
be
the
the
first one was
fourth.
It. No, that was the first one. No, second one was it was Laz Lonzo.
Sir, the Leprechaun movie had no Negroes in it. What are you
Are
talking
you
about?
talking about Leprechaun in the Hood? Specify, sir.
Back
Please.
to the Hood. Back to the Hood. The second
Thank
one.
That would be the
you.
second one.
Thank you. That would hold on. Technically, that would be the fifth one.
Yeah, that would be the fifth one.
That was after Space.
No, hold on. Was the third one
Leprechaun
in space?
1, 2, third was Space, fourth was in the Hood, and then
They
fifth
jumped to
was Back
space
the
in
Hood.
the third one?
I believe
Already.
Damn.
Already.
so. I believe so.
Hey,
No, you're right. No, D. Never mind. Fourth was in space. Leprechaun 1, 2, 3. 4 was in space. Fifth was in the Hood. Six was back to the Hood. And then Leprechaun Returns, because we don't talk about fucking Origins. That shitty ass movie.
Hey, Chris.
Hornswoggle. Really?
Come on, nigga. No risk. No.
But they did do. But we did get Leprechaun Returns. So hey, cool.
But I will say this. Look at how young this nigga looks though, man. look at the muscle tone.
He still looks the same.
He don't look the same to me.
He
don't look the same.
Is it because of the haircut?
Dominican.
I think
he looks Dominican in this one.
I mean, look, isn't he part? I thought he was like half Dominican, half black, or something like that.
That's a DC ass nigga. First off, man, Laz Lonzo is a DC ass nigga. I'm pretty sure by way of New York, but still, he's a DC ass nigga, bro.
Look very Boricua in that fucking
Boricua. Really, Chris?
I don't know.
Really, Chris? Don't you ever attempt Spanish ever again on this show?
Don Omar. Oh yeah, Don Omar and Tego is all over this fucking movie.
Okay, these Dan Omar, yes, and Tego, yeah. These two who are responsible for every song from now on the Latino station sounding like this. Every song, every reggaeton song sounds like that because of these two niggas that can't stay out of jail. I love that part. They can't stay out of jail.
Real life, we're talking about the movies.
On the movies, nigga. God.
Oh, okay. I was like, real life. What happened? Did they do something?
Thank you. His parents
Cuban.
are Cuban. That nigga still. That's why I like. He's actually a black. Eris. We can see it. He's a real Latinx.
Mm.
Are we trying to lose the Latin community with this episode when you say Latinx?
Hey, Chris, seriously? I gotta be real with you. Outside of Jose, I don't think no Spanish people listen to our show.
Sir, Cuban refugees might be listening to 3BG as they're coming to America. All right.
First off, Chris,
only to get turned away. I'm sorry. In these unprecedented times, we need some political humor.
Every day is unprecedented times. Then
I know. That's why I said we need some political humor.
Crash the economy and then just say, "Hey, I saved the economy, guys."
Hey, look. Hey, listen, gentlemen. This is why I say out of all the things, because out of all the things that's happening with us in our generation, we're only going to inherit our parents' houses, and we're going to work until our backs give out and all of that nonsense. But the trade-off is that we still get the look like we in our 20s, 30s for like another 30 years.
And I can look like Tigo with that perfect afro.
Yes.
That he has. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I aspire to that, by the way. As I get older, I'm going to be like the old black man that got the afro a little bit and stuff. And got a little salt and pepper going on in it, but like
No.
a cleaner Cornell West.
Chris, don't. If you walk an afro with a streak of gray in it, you will never, ever hear the end of it from D.
But see, here's the thing. I'm married at this
Oh
point. So what
shit!
does it matter?
Here comes Samuel Jackson off of Unbreakable. I'm gonna
First
kill
off,
your ass.
that was an unkempt
Every-
afro, sir. There's a
Chris,
difference.
it don't matter. It don't matter. If your hair comes up naughty too hard right now, we calling you
Also,
Chris,
also-
if your hair gets too naughty now, we're calling you year 3 J. Cole. So don't start.
No.
All right?
You were calling me Clarence Williams III from fucking Tales from the Hood.
You ain't got the gap, sir. You do not got the gap. And with all due respect,
The charisma.
you don't have the charisma that Clarence Williams III had. All right? Because you marry a white girl, we're going to be like, Chris, stop doing that shit. He marries a white girl. He believes that shit. You don't have that conviction. No offense.
Also, Chris, I'm sorry. I would not be threatened by you if you walked up to me and with a crossbow and said Cuban B.
I'm just saying. You know what you should do, Chris?
You could shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm gonna rock my fucking
I'm just saying.
the afro just like Denzel, and he got game, and that's all you need to know.
You come out here with an old man. I'm too afraid to buy a prostitute haircut. I'ma go on you on that one too. Hey, somebody get this nigga a red tank top.
So first off, I'll still be married. It ain't like, who am I really impressing at that point?
Hey, look.
Oh, that is a very true thing. When you become married, you do not care. It's the second sign of getting old as well. When you get older, you don't care. When you get married, you don't care.
Hold on, he keep on wrestling on the fact like he ain't marrying a black woman. They go, I know you ain't about to walk out the goddamn house looking like that. Because we're both going out. If you was going out by yourself, I don't give a fuck what you look like. You ain't about to make me look like I'm all dragged down for you. So they go, oh my God, how you doing? Why Chris look like that? I ain't got time to be asking questions. Oh God, yeah. I love
fair statement, I think.
I wasn't ready for that.
I love how all of that really resulted in Chris actually admitting that was all fair. That's
fair.
That's
That's how, no, look. One of the things that attracts me, Eris, and Chris to each other is the fact that we have joned on each other plenty of times. Have gotten to the point of fair. Y'all got me.
It's like somewhere in the middle of all the roasting, I'm like, you know what? Now you said something fair. I'm not even going. Like, I was originally going to punch you, but now I'm not.
I have seen Eris
punch canceled.
I have seen Eris dig a 5-foot ditch, pour concrete in it, and stand in. Yeah, nigga, I ain't moving for it. And then here come me or Chris with 1 point. Eris, fair. Fair, you got me on that. Click, click, click. You got me on that. Let me get my ass out, dog.
I tell you.
I was like, you know what? Bring the jackhammer over. I need to get out of here quick.
Bring the jackhammer. Come on. No. Here's it. Come on. Go ahead, dude. You ain't gonna hurt me, man. Just go. Ah, shit, nigga.
I tell you what was fair. My man Brian slamming Stacey X face into the wall, and the next scene he has the fucking nose tape in there, sitting in the meeting, just staring like, I can't believe that happened.
Nah.
The judo face plant.
Nah.
The heat fucking move that Brian did to fucking Stacey.
No, you see that perfect blood come on the side of his head, right? That is the perfect I got cracked. Blood
sir, he punched me.
The best line to come
out of here. I want to cut him gone.
The best line out of that moment was, it's like, man, he said, he was like, enough. You're bleeding on my floor. Go clean yourself up.
Awesome.
Dude, it's the tape in the next scene with the tape and bandages on his nose, and he just stared off like, I can't believe this happened to me. He folded me just like that. Like,
I mean, straightforward. Hey, Chris, you know the best part? This is the first of 2 times that this happens in this franchise.
The second one was just like, no.
I'm mad that he did it again in Furious 7 because he was like, how you gonna get into the prison? Well, You're not gonna like this. Oh, come on. Kadoosh. That's the same spot.
No, but six.
No, it was in Furious 7, remember? He had to
No.
go. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It was in Furious.
Yeah, it's six.
In 6, in Furious 6, I remember he did it because he broke into the prison just to ask Braga the question.
Bro, let me tell
He
you something.
was in that movie, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
here's-
came back for it.
Oh, God. I forgot about that.
Now here's the funniest thing. Brian and Dom cross paths because they are searching for the same guy that knows Braga. And Brian pretty much has to do a lot of work, and all Dom has to do is stare in Corona and just stalk a person through a fucking place to go after them and stuff. So
by the way, I asked my wife. I was like, "Hey, baby, what's that on his shoulders? What do you call that thing? His traps? Yeah. Right in this scene right here, I was like this. Yeah, if I ever lose my traps, I'm gonna lose half of my career." Look right there, him with a tank top with a wife beat on and traps. You know,
this is the most.
The millions he made off.
Can I be real?
This is the most that we're ever going to get from Vin for the rest of this franchise. Shirtless Vin was first movie only.
Can I be
Boy,
real? No. See, I was going to get into
Chris?
I was going to get into this because here's the thing.
Because he looked like
Vin,
he looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow in the shoulders.
No. Here's the thing about Vin. Vin, over the course of the series, went from cut in a wife beater to you look like a Hispanic dad. You gain mass. You gain mass. That's why he just wears mass. That's why he wears the Dickie shirt over the fucking thing to kind of hide the shit and stuff, because he ain't exactly looking cut. Vin in a white beater.
Me and Chris
he went from white beater to sleeveless black shirt.
Hey, me and Chris ain't shit because we was watching Triple X 2 when he came out there in his wife beater again, right? I was like, hey Chris, remember the old commercial? It was like Triple X, ooh, girl, in this movie, ugh, girl.
Here's the thing.
Chris, the whole time, Chris is like this. Chris, you know how Chris is. Chris is nice. Chris, about 10 minutes after I made that joke, here's Chris. Yeah, that thing is hanging out that shirt.
Here's the thing. Vin, I think Vin also realized there is money to be made because of the dad bod phenomenon. So hey, maybe I don't need to work out that much.
Hey Chris, this comes from a nigga that had a dad bod all his life. That don't work. Stop saying that shit it brings up black men.
Hey Vin. Stallone in the Expendables movie said you're welcome.
No, here's the thing. Here's the sick part. I feel low key he was beefing with The Rock because The Rock was in better shape than Vin, and Vin was like, "This is bullshit. How the fuck this motherfucker more shape than me?"
What can you do?
Try to be on Dwayne's level, yeah.
Like Vin, it's you versus juicing.
The Rock. Yeah. First off, The Rock isn't juicing. That's chicken, rice, broccoli.
No, it ain't. Chris.
Creatine.
No, Chris. No.
It's
stop
broccoli, rice, water, and a good Terramina. See, Terramina is actually
No. Terramina wasn't a thing yet.
It was cod.
In my brain it was.
No, it was close. It was everything you said. Y'all keep forgetting. Yes. It was all that and Zoa.
That bullshit ass fucking drink.
Zoa. That nigga been pushing Zoa.
That nasty ass fucking drink. I'd rather drink Bang than drink Zoa. That's how bad that is.
Hey, Eris, what was that one artist that was always pushing a mixtape despite, nigga, you got the money to make a real album? Who was that doing that all the time? I forgot. But that's what kind of he was.
You pushing out nothing but mixtapes. We ain't seen an album yet.
It's like Rock.
That's who he was. He was doing
I'm about to say Fabulous and Lil Wayne to a certain point.
It's like, Dwayne, man, you could easily go up to Red Bull and say, "Fuck you, I'm taking it over," and you be fine. You had to make Zoa.
And what? Drop the quality?
Okay, fair.
Chris,
Right,
they're
okay.
already putting horse semen and horse piss inside of Red Bull. I think Terramina is going to fuck up the whole thing.
I can't tell the difference. I like the cranberry Red Bull, so you know.
I feel like Terramina was made out of
Energy drink and juice.
like Zoa. I feel like Zoa, they just squeezed a rag of sweat and like mixed it in with.
I swear, I even tried like a neutral flavor of Zoa, thinking I'm tripping and it's just the flavor. I was like, no, all of them taste like crap. It's like, what the hell, bro?
They're all terrible.
I'll never forget the first time I ever had a Red Bull. I did this exact move.
Hold on, was it Diet Red Bull or regular Red Bull?
Don't matter. I ain't touched a Red Bull since then. I do not like
the
Red
cranberry
Bull.
one is the only one I'll drink. Honestly, if I had to really,
I'm with Chris on that one. At least the cranberry one is decent.
I
Now,
feel
the
like
one
because-
time I decided to do some diabolical behavior. Normally, like back when I used to go to the clubs all the time, I would get a screwdriver.
dear
and-
God, dude, in a club where they water down the screwdriver.
Not in Japan,
Oh, okay, never mind.
and not at the club that I was at. But in
Okay,
any case, I decided to just say, "Hey, 1 foot into Adventureland, let me do
Give
vodka."
me a Four Loco.
No, God,
I
no,
thought
that
you
wasn't
were
a
gonna
thing.
say- I
God,
really
no, that
thought
was
you was gonna
no.
say
God,
that.
no, that was not a thing. That was not a thing. But I did ask for a vodka and Red Bull. I will never ask for that again.
vodka Red Bull's not bad.
It's not bad, but the one I got was just woof. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Speaking of Wolf, so in the process of what Braga wants to test out people when he puts them in a race, and
And what we get is Need for Speed Most Wanted
Hold on.
night.
hold on. First off, so in order for that to happen, you get picked and stuff. We meet the cast of potential people that are going to be a part of it, and one of them is this white cowboy guy that antagonizes Brian and stuff.
What I like to call Earth 753 Jesse from the first movie.
Pretty much.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I like how
He
Brian.
He was Jesse, also known as Universe 7 Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's basically the whole time, because obviously Brian needs somebody to, antagonize off of, and he kind of has a little moment with them and stuff. But basically, they have to have a race, and Brian ends up piecing together, what was it? Was it a 370Z, a 350,
Okay,
in a
so
Skyline?
no. Those are like three of the main pictures. What we really got was a hodgepodge of like several cars picked out of the impound lot. My man took probably the motor from the R35, put it inside of the body of the R34. He probably took the transmission from the 370Z. Probably took some other parts off of a 240SX, and God knows what other parts was thrown in.
Yeah, it's a Frankenstein Skyline.
Point made is that Brian literally built his R34 Skyline in Bayside blue. That thing was chef's kiss. I loved it in this movie.
And you want to know what? I hated this movie. Guys, look.
Gotta be honest with you.
It's there. He brought it.
Gotta be honest with you. In life, I was that guy. Like, when I saw that Skyline in Too Fast in this movie, I was like, yes, I want that car so bad.
I ain't gonna fake. That's
And
D,
it was
that's D with the struggle. That's D with the struggle beard over there. Look.
And unlike the other movies, this was an actual Skyline, like an R34, according to Craig Lieberman. This was an actual Skyline, and his Skyline in Too Fast, Too Furious was an actual GTR as well.
Yeah, I mean, now.
Yeah, by the way, thank you.
Nigga Kid Rock, yes,
that was Greg Snipes.
Gregory Snipes.
And hearing Greg say, "Nah, man, what you doing with the ladies?" Here's me. Hi, Beast Boy. I knew that was you. I keep forgetting how Greg looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You hear his voice so much, you do forget what he does look like. It's like, oh shit, that was Greg Snipes. Cool.
He was like, look, man, that drugs ain't mine. I look at the other cop, looked at Brian like, that's not gonna stick. Yeah, I know it ain't supposed to.
No, when he said that, here's me. Cop, propaganda. Brian's a fed. Brian's fair.
But
What
it's
up,
cool.
yo?
But it's cool because you can take other cars and make it your own and make a super
That
duper
being
skyline.
That
And-
being said, I found out something about this movie that I don't like about the Fast series. I actually don't like Brian.
Why?
Why?
I don't like him.
It's because he's just the over the top like super white guy. Is that what it is?
Maybe.
He's the main. No, Brian is
Maybe,
main
but
character.
I can
Brian
let
is
that
main
go.
character. He is
I can
main
let that
character.
go.
Okay.
I hate the fact that you are clearly a Fed, and yet you're doing the Keanu. Oh, bah, 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 bah. Pick a side, nigga.
First of all,
Pick a
sir.
side.
First of all.
Go ahead, defend him. It was just
I'm-
a super,
no.
y'all. That wasn't
No.
Brian. It was just
No.
a car.
No, stop it. Just stop it. When you have to go undercover,
Fuck him. I'm sorry. We done seen mob movies.
when you have to go undercover, look, I'm not gonna try to defend the fire coming from your hate boner for Brian. Okay, I'm not.
Hold on. This is not a hate boner. This is just me just stating it. Hold on. I don't like this cracker. I don't trust him. And the fact that Dom trusts him is just blowing my mind.
D,
That's the part that just gets me.
for the love of God, D, if I was this close, we're talking hairline away from being carted off by the cops and the feds, being put in jail for the rest of my life with a broken arm and a twisted sternum, only for me to be given the keys to a Supra and told me to get out of the country, I would trust him.
Well, yes, you know what they say, Chris. But
Yeah,
the point
risk
is,
for reward.
I would trust him. Now, in Brian's case, again, dude, if I'm going back undercover into the street, into the street race.
First off, there are many. I want people to understand we have a lot of funny images from every movie. Too Fast, Too Furious, we had the meme for the ejectocito where the dude yeets the girl that he's on a date like, you never watched Too Fast, and then say ejectocito and shit. That one might top that one easily.
Wait, show me again. Yeah, okay.
Dude, I almost had you.
Yeah.
it's
I
the
need
whole-
that.
no, I don't know what's better.
That is some mad
Is it
fest type shit.
is it
I ain't gonna lie.
the holding from behind, or is it the rose inside of the Corona?
For me, it's the car is on fire. It's the
Nah.
flaming car.
Dog, it's the cross.
One
It's the
car
cross.
should have been. One car should have been lifted up. One should have been lifted up at least. That would have been it.
But no, if I'm going back undercover in the like into the world that, let's just be real, I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie, and I enjoyed it the last time that I was doing this, because just like what you find out about Brian later when he decides to be Guile and be a family man, he doesn't miss the cars, he doesn't miss the girls, he doesn't miss none of that stuff from that world that he came from. He misses the bullets. He misses the adrenaline.
Yeah, it's the adrenaline. It's the adrenaline of dealing with that, and I think it's even more fun. I think it's even more funny though. Go ahead.
And like I said, if I was if I'm going back into that world, dealing with street racing, you're looking for drivers, bruh. You're talking to a car guy, and I get to pick from the literal car selection screen from Need for Speed and One Gone Midnight put together. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with this.
I think it's even more funny, like the race.
I'm going all in.
No,
The
he
race-
just want no. He was all right until he's like, Don's gonna be there.
Well, he already knew that Don was going to be there because
he
remember
knew.
when he was chasing. Hold on, remember when he was chasing. No. Let me finish. Remember when he was chasing Hispanic youth from rooftop to rooftop?
That nigga was 30 years old. Don't say youth.
Well, Hispanic thug number 43 from rooftop to rooftop,
615.
and like when he finally caught up with him, and then when he runs into Vin, because he was looking for Ray Park, right? And I'm sorry, David Park. That was the dude's name. When he was looking for David Park, he actually finds him. Vin beats him to it, hangs him over the edge, and he's like, I'm gonna kill this broad.
I love
And
how all of a
and
sudden
anyone who gets in my way.
I'm
And
like,
literally,
yo,
you thought he dropped him.
I was like, yo, why are you Batman now? What's going on?
Dude, I like how the
Because he
race.
did pull the Batman disappearing act by dropping him and making Brian think that, oh my god, he killed him. Dude, he disappeared. He let him catch that pant leg.
I like how basically the race that we have, we get Brian and Dom, we get Brandon T. Jackson because Brandon T. Jackson was just a random actor that they just got to get in there.
I love that he was just a random Negro. Good for
Yes,
him.
because you need one. You need at least one. Random Negro that drives an orange BMW.
And then we get Musa Kraish, who plays the other driver, who is
Yes, aka Chia Pet.
the guy from Superbad that was in the room when they were when Michael Cera was singing.
Like, hey,
Who
who is that? No, wait, D. No, I'm sorry, Chris the Line. Hey, who is that guy?
Who's that guy?
Who is that guy?
You know, he's that guy. Sing the song, man. Sing the song.
He's Jimmy's brother. He's Jimmy's brother. Oh my god, the singer.
It's like it's like my man came from all the way over here, and you're gonna fucking sing.
He said, my friend came all the way from Scottsdale, Arizona, and you're not gonna sing for her.
It's the Scottsdale, Arizona, not Arizona.
No.
Scottsdale.
As a guy that got trapped in a room full of inebriated people, there is nothing worse than hearing a storyline that you did not take part in being imposed upon you. Come on, hey, nigga, you was there. Shut the fuck up, nigga. I seen you and him over there. Like, sir,
We want you to sing.
over there.
Like, we want you to sing like a bird. We want you to sing, man. Come on, you're gonna sing for us. Come on. And then when they put their arm around you, like, come on, man, gotta sing for us while holding a drink. And then of course the line that just made the whole scene even better. Want to do a line of cocaine? No, man. Like, no way, man. Yeah.
So here's
You
the
want
thing.
to do a line of cocaine?
This race is the most, like D said, the most Need for Speed shit ever,
It's-
complete with
it's-
3D augmented reality arrows that
All
point you the
of
other
The
way.
augmented
You know
reality
what I-
GPS.
No. Turning left.
Let me tell you
Hang
something.
right.
Rerouting.
I gotta
It
be
kept
honest
saying
with you.
rerouting.
If there's anything that I hate more than anything,
And they said thank you at the end. Did she say thank you at the end of that race?
Yes,
I
when
think?
you finish the race.
I have a hate relationship with Google Maps because Google Maps will sit there and put you in a direction as though it's the shortest distance. And me knowing how to drive around the DC area, particularly in PG County, I'm looking at it like bullshit. That's the shortest fucking damn way.
Well, that's also because
so let me get this right. Let me get this
also
straight.
depends, and it also depends on on the time of day you're using Google Maps, because Google Maps will never account for road closures.
They do for me. I don't know
No, I'm
about you.
talking. I'm talking about early Google Maps.
Oh, early Google Maps. Yeah.
Early
But
Google Maps didn't even know.
even recent now, it does that bullshit where I'm like, so you're telling me this was the shortest way? Okay, sure. That's why that race was chaotic as shit, because that map was like, yeah, you can go this way.
I like how see y'all yell at me. Oh, D, it's Paul Walker. Walker. This nigga got a whole beef with Google.
I
Hey, Brian, tell that computer to shut the fuck up as I'll bust through this fucking thing and go down the hill and fuck up my car in real life. But
Well,
my car
Chris,
is
My man said, "I'm sorry. Apologize to your car as you should."
Well, hold on, Chris. If Brian didn't follow instructions, he would have never got back onto the race when he got off the track. Thank you, by Garmin.
I agree, by Garmin. Nah, this is 2009. Fast and Furious by TomTom.
Nah, I think it'd be Garmin. When Garmin
Garmin,
was out at that
TomTom.
time?
No, it was, but TomTom was like more of the. Well, they were both like known. They were both known. TomTom.
TomTom.
Mhm.
Hey, Eris.
It was a thing.
No. Eris, how much fiber have you been getting in your diet, man? Because
How much fiber?
Look. I told my dad,
about us.
It is not our fault that we are all old, okay?
Hey, guys, I done told my dad about us making fun of each other when you're old, how old we are, and I brought the AARP joke. My dad laughed for a solid 2 minutes. He said, "Y'all go to each other about AARP." Hey, Shaw, I'm like, yo, they just gave me something not too long ago. I'm not even bullshit. I'm thinking like, well, maybe
Thank
it's
you.
time to think that old.
No, thank you. That's Magellan. That's another one.
That was the one I was trying to think of because I remember you said
Garbage, Tom,
but
and
when you said
Magellan.
Tom, because when you said Tom, my E3 and my back kind of a little bit when you did that. Oh God!
I said Tom. I said Tom, and my left knee popped for like a half.
I like how my man in the Sylvia, like as in any Fast and Furious, somebody gets fucking dies in a fucking car crash.
I will say
that was Brandon
if
T.
there's
Jackson.
one
My
thing I
man
can
went
give
No.
He
The other dude,
rolled.
the other dude that Vin fucked up in the Sylvia.
Oh yeah, that one. There was that.
Did.
But even Brandon T. Jackson's
5 days later.
Even Brandon Jackson's character, dude was dead. First of all, the car was rolling. All right, it was flipping over and then careened off of a bridge
At best,
and landed engine first on the ground.
At best, he's a paraplegic.
At best,
that is a BMW, sir. That is a BMW. He is done.
Chris.
Damn.
Chris. That engine block went through his torso. What are you talking about?
That was the 2009 M3 with the V8 engine. My man,
that is a shish kebabbed nigga. What are you talking about?
That V-Row is a cube, okay? You don't even have to go to Chaps gas station to get crushed.
That nigga is an upper body. There is no lower body. The whole chassis caved in on his ass when he hit the ground. Man. You know it did.
But can we give this movie one thing? Seeing how there was supposed to be a video game based on the Fast and Furious franchise after Too Fast, Too Furious, and the fact that we did not get an actual Fast and Furious video game until around this time.
Is that when they put out those arcade Fast and Furious games?
No, not even the arcade. No, not the arcade ones. The one that came. There was one that came. There was one that actually came out on PS3 and 360. I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
Yep.
And yeah, it was just woof.
I'm just saying, how do you fuck up a racing game that fast?
Easy, not making fun, Chris. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, not making it fun. And see, it was the arcade Fast and Furious games; those were actually fun. But when you had a racing game like Need for Speed Most Wanted from 2005 have a literal chokehold on the racing game community, that is a shoe that was almost impossible to fill. Because like to this day, you got people that still go back to 05 Need for Speed. Not even Need for Speed themselves can top that game.
Look, I said Carbon was the last time Need for Speed had a gasp of anything worth a damn. Because after Carbon,
I feel like the Underground, and I feel like as much as I love both Underground 1 and 2, I feel like they kind of just set a bar that was way too high for that.
Especially Underground 1. It was just Underground 1.
Underground 1 set the bar, but Most Wanted 05.
Oh yeah, Most Wanted was
cleared that bar.
Look, I'm not going to argue. I'm not a fan of the.
Yeah, Most Wanted and Carbon was like the last time it was worth a damn.
Carbon was okay.
Carbon was okay, but it was not Most Wanted. It wasn't.
I played. Yeah, I must say I played Most Wanted.
It was only good for. Carbon was only good for the initial D mountain driving stage with the drifting.
Yeah, that was about it. Because you had Carbon, which was mostly a nighttime racing game, and then you had
Permanent Night.
Yeah, then you had Pro Street. And then the Run, was the Need for Speed the Run came out when this movie came out in 2009.
Yeah, because when they did the Run was supposed to be that was when like gaming studios was like, yeah, we really need to get some story.
We want to make it cinematic,
and I'm like,
Need for Speed the Run featuring Maggie Q.
I'm about to say, was that the Maggie Q game?
Yes, it was. Starring Maggie Q in a 370Z.
And that's my thing with like this movie. It's like this movie tries to get super serious. Like I said earlier, when Brian was like, "She did it for you, man," I was like, "Okay, I get it. Dramatic emotions."
When he did all that, he did it for you. He did it for you. She did it for you. I'm thinking like, Kiss him, Dom.
Kiss him.
This is
Kiss
the
him.
time. This is it.
Kiss him
This
on the
is it.
cheek.
This is it. Like this whole movie, like I said, I stand by it. I know it's been. I think this is the reason why I'm breaking it up because I think this is the last time I really truly see it. But half of this movie, yeah, if you kind of change the context to go like this, like they were ex-lovers, holy shit. Dom and Brian are still like, just do it. Get together. Hold hands. You can do it. Be free with one another. Like I'm over there rooting for them. I'm rooting for this gay relationship that does not exist.
But here's my thing: like the race was funny
but
because
I think after this movie, I think after 4, you don't see that relationship like you did in the first movie.
it's just
you know
more buddy, but it's more buddy.
Yeah, it's more buddy. The only time it gets kind of gay is those weird moments where, and they do this in every movie where Dom looks at Brian and Brian looks back like, yeah. It's like, are you about to fuck? They do that in every
Kinda.
movie. But
Kinda.
Thank you, Eris. Now you see D's fantasy.
Kiss him.
Do it. But yeah, this is the last time you really see that. And I think it's funny. I will say this because of course we're going to continue on with the Fast series. I'm going to keep an eye out on that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Just in a weird way. I'm going to keep an eye out on that. But anyway, go ahead.
I think it's this. So the race, Brian and Dom, they're neck and neck, and Brian actually is pulling ahead of Dom. Dom, because he's so focused on wanting to actually get in with Braga, hits Brian and fucks up the race. And Brian, rightfully so, was like, "That's bullshit. He fucking cheated." And I like how Lad's like, "Yeah, it don't matter. It's racing. We don't give a shit." Yeah, he won.
We'll cry to your mama, man.
Yeah, pretty much. It's actually
That was the line. Thank you, sir. That was the line. When I saw it,
I'm gonna get mad. Look, I'm gonna get real mad, but I hope there's a scene transition with a lot of Latino music playing.
Yeah,
a lot of Latino music.
It's a scene.
BBLs shaking mini skirts.
Now remember, this is the first generation of BBLs, so they're big, but they're stiff.
They're believable. No, they're believable.
I just like how eventually
they didn't go crazy yet.
After Brian gets Greg Sipes out of the paint with a charge, he's in with Braga, and when they get to the party, that's where Dom, when he's snooping around, meets up with Gal Gadot's character, which is kind of funny that the movie pushed this angle that Vin and Gal Gadot's character were going to maybe hook up somehow, the way they were kind of like talking in the garage.
I am so glad.
Thank you, Darius. That's my fault. That was Never Speed Undercover, not the run.
Yeah.
So I am so glad.
I'm glad they didn't do it.
Because this movie, number one, Dom didn't deserve it. It was just, you're just mysterious and you're quieter than everyone else. Have pussy. Like I thought that was about to happen too. You know what I mean? I really thought that was going to happen too.
You know, because of Letty's death.
Thank God. Thank God.
No, they have tried to pass off at least 2 to 3 relationships for Vin in this Fast franchise.
The only one that stuck was the Brazilian girl.
And what I really loved was they really thought that they because even the movie tried to pull a fast one to make you think, oh, will they, won't they, will they, won't they? I'm like, oh, he really does not care for Gal Gadot. Cool. He's still on Letty. He's still on Letty. Now, it wasn't until they got to Brazil and he did mess around with the cop and who pretty much gave him a kid. Fine. But then when we see, remember remember in Fate of the Furious, they tried to play that crap off of him betraying his team and him getting close with Charlize Theron, and I'm like, she was using him. God,
I'm sorry. Cool. I'm sorry. The whole movie can kiss my ass for that storyline too.
I totally forgot
because it was so obvious.
Look, I forgot that old girl that Vin hooks up with from Brazil. That's Chris Hemsworth's wife.
Now hold on.
Yes, it
they
is.
They had a kid, right? Didn't they have a kid?
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Do we bring up the kid ever again?
Yeah, they do.
No, dude, Little B. He's pretty much in the franchise for the rest of the.
Fast 10 is literally him and it's Uncle John Cena running away from everybody.
Guys, stop.
This whole movie series was retarded. I'm sorry. Look, I forgot things exist and they do exist and they don't exist no more.
John Cena.
I'm sorry.
John Cena and Dom's kid have a road trip to escape from the enemies.
Chris,
Listening to 90s music.
You're dead. Remember, D, stop giving a F. The second that charger got hooked up to that line.
Yeah, full
Yeah.
I had to see a 3-ton car hang on to a vine.
An old vine.
Like he's fucking Nathan Drake trying to swing
That
over.
was some, gotta be fair, that was some Uncharted shit, wasn't it?
The Uncharted multiplayer, remember.
Hey Chris, when we get to Fast 10 and when we get to, all right, the
Fast
one thing
9.
I will say is this, y'all. After this Fast movie, 3BG is allowed to talk real dog shit about the rest of the series because from this point on, hold on, shut up, Chris. Because from that point on, everything awesome happens in the series and everything mind-blowingly retarded happens from that point on.
I'll say Fast 6 onward. Fast 5, I love.
No, Fast 5 has its own. Fast 5 has its own.
Jump started this.
Like I say, Fast 5 has a handful of retardation in his hand too. Let's not act like it's walking around.
Sponsored by Under Armour.
Sponsored by Terramita because remember, Rock's in that one too.
Hey, he ain't lying on Under Armour because I think that's where Vince started getting jealous because The Rock was looking cut in that Under Armour and Vin was still struggling with that wife beater.
I would too because Vin Diesel was like, I don't understand it. I go to the gym, you pump horse meat into your neck. I don't understand this shit.
It's called my man does pull-ups with chains and Vin Diesel doesn't. So there you go.
Let me be real. Because I know I see a couple of y'all buzzing. I like Fast 5. I fucking love Fast 5. Fast 5 is awesome.
Physics like that.
Thank you, Tevin.
Yes.
Tevin understands.
I don't have physics. I got family.
Tevin, like most of the stuff here, he's one of our best fans. And Tevin knows the fucking assignment. Like I said, I'm not saying that we can't enjoy 5 onward. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying this. When you saw that Ferrari go from one building to the other.
That wasn't a Ferrari, sir.
That was a Lambo.
That was a Lambo. I'm sorry.
Lambo.
I'm sorry. That was a Lambo. I'm Lambo. I'm sorry, because if it was a Ferrari, it would have been different. But when you saw that one car go to the other building, that told you everything you needed to know about this series from here on out. It was the dumbest. Shut the fuck up, Chris.
Dope as shit.
You know why I wasn't dope as shit? Because I was like, oh, that was cool. Remember 2 minutes ago when Ronda Rousey got washed?
First off, sir, the Fast and Furious.
I ain't getting over that.
No, dude. The Fast and Furious series has always structured itself as science fiction. So of course Letty can beat Ronda Rousey, all right? Exactly. That's how Ronda Rousey lost. All right. Saints. It's actually more Saints Row.
Fair.
Actually, this franchise is Saints Row 4. That was the chaotic Saints Row. I love Saints Row 4.
I think Saints Row 5 Saints Row 3 was actually 4 and 5.
Yeah, that's where it was like 3 was where it was like, all right, we're still taking it seriously, but we'll do simple shit.
Hold on, no. 3 was GTA when he was in London. There was a GTA 2, the second one. Nobody played it. It's something weird.
No, three. I think 3 was it 2 or 3 that got the remaster.
The remaster was 3.
Yeah, 3. So that's 3 because 3 is very beloved, but 4 I love because it is literally Fast 5. It's the Fast 5 of the fucking Saints Row franchise. It is chaotic and ridiculous, and I love it.
You like 4 over 3? I thought 3 was to me, and somebody actually I've been watching the whole downfall. I watched something of the downfall of the Saints Row games.
Yeah.
I know people that will fight you to the death about Saints Row 2. I'm not in the argument.
I get it. I
don't
get it.
fight
Saints Row 2.
That wasn't my game though.
Listen, Saints Row 2 is where it found an identity because you remember Saints Row 1 was the one that's like, oh, it's just a GTA 4 clone.
I call bull. because they didn't find an identity in the second one because everybody still said the same thing. It was a GTA clone. The third one, because
See, they're all GTA
they all
Fair.
actually Eris, and it's interesting that you say that because that was the underlining thing. No matter what, even though in the third one, which I say that's when they truly found their own identity, it still got GTA wackiness in it.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
still going, and that's the thing I think that haunted the whole Saints Row series is that every time they looked over their shoulder, GTA was still right there. Even when 3 shut it down, did big numbers, people praised it left and right. You know what it still got? GTA 4 was more grounded than this one. They couldn't escape it, man. So yeah, sweet. But yeah, Saints Row 2. Like I said, I don't fight nobody on Saints Row 2 because
My man,
people love that too.
The funniest scene is them talking to my man Ortiz, right? And they all kind of going over their background. He's like, "Yeah, he dated my sister." Ooh. You know, that whole shit. It's just the whole conversation is Dom and Brian kind of like basically keeping their shit low key and stuff. But I like how Ortiz picked up on it and was like, "Y'all both got some history." He's like, "Yeah, he
He's
dated
like,
my sister."
he's like, you guys know each other or something? You used to date my sister. You're a lucky man. Why? You're still breathing. I'm like, oh, shut up, movie.
As I drink my swig of Corona.
I'm like, boo. Freaking boo.
So, oh, dude, you muted.
Eris, you said it perfectly for me. I was about to go through. I was about to play a clip. No. Shut the fuck up, movie.
Boo. So basically,
boo on you, sir.
So Brian sees Ortiz in the Braga in the other room, and he takes the glass to kind of get the dust for fingerprints and stuff, to see, confirm it's Braga and stuff, right? That Ortiz was talking to. So in the meanwhile, Brian and Dom managed to get into the place that they need to meet up at for doing Braga's run essentially. And what it is they have to get into these trucks, and Brian has basically a tracker on his car that he has to ditch because they're scanning for trackers in the car, which I have to probably figure it was because of Letty running from them, basically. That led to that. All right, we gotta take some precautions here and stuff. So basically, what ended up happening is Brian manages to get the shit out of his car, and then now they can't track him, and stuff. So they get there. They run the stuff, and you basically get a feel for what the whole run is and stuff. Dom tries to fucking get at old boy, and then, he gets back in line, and they go through the underground tunnel, which again, like Dee said, is like this 5 mile systematic tunnel. Okay, sure. They get out there, and that's where Dom pretty much lets his anger take over, rightfully so, because he knows Laz Lonzo killed Letty, pretty much. And, yeah, that's where Dom. Well, actually, Dom before that actually opens up the NOS in his car before getting out because he's already planning on pretty much going all out and attacking and stuff. And that is pretty much sort of the diversion for him and Brian to get away with Braga's drugs.
So when he decided to crack off, like was it? He let out the gas cap and
somebody nobody stole that shit.
No, and then press the button on the cigarette lighter. I was like, oh, we know what's about to go down. I'm like, this man is creating probably the greatest movie diversion ever of having the cigarette lighter pop open with the open gas, and you managed to make all 4 cars blow up.
I mean, it's a domino effect, even though that's not how explosions fucking work, but sure. Who
knew that one car blows up just from being next to another car?
So, yeah. So Brian. So it was funny because I like how Ving was telling Laz Lonzo he looked under the hood of his car. And he's like, "Motherfucker, you looked under the hood of my car?" And he was like, "Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
What up?
72 Plymouth. Her name was Letty.
What? Huh, I don't know no Letty.
No. He said, "Do you remember? Like, do you remember her face?" Because I do. And the last time I saw it, it was burning.
It's the most diabolical ass shit ever.
I'm like, you're going to tell a newly You're gonna tell me a newly powered up superhero Vin Diesel?
It's like, all right, cool.
Perfectly tuned, perfectly calibrated Vin Diesel.
You're gonna tell heat mode activated Vin Diesel?
Did you just say heat mode activated, sir?
Yes, because dude, Fast and Furious 4 gave Vin superpowers.
Yeah, he did.
This
Vin-
movie was the start of Vin having superpowers throughout this entire franchise.
Now, did you mention where the dude's like, get the fuck out of my place, and he dropped that engine on him, grabbed
Man,
that
Like I
being
said,
said,
and this is why I told you, this is my own little theory. His super juice is the Coronas.
I actually believe the power comes from the tank top. I truly think
No,
maybe in this
Haynes-
movie.
it's not.
I truly think
I
Haynes
refuse.
put something inside of the way.
It's not.
Look, I let your theory go. Let mine go. Okay.
I'm just telling you this. I'm just telling you it's not D because listen, that theory falls apart because when he's in Brazil, was it sleeveless black shirt Vin Diesel, hopping from favela to favela? Come on now.
Fair.
Eris. I'm enjoying that you're using the vocabulary words. Actually, second of all, more importantly.
Well, see, you have to use big vocabulary words because this movie does not deserve the big vocabulary words.
What are you talking about, Chris? This movie had me intrigued the second it started because of the deep, emotional, and heart-grabbing story. It did stuff to us.
I'm gonna say, D, are you talking about the Italian Job, Ron Carr movie?
Speaking of cars, apparently the new Subaru hatchback is the 10-second car that I didn't know I needed.
That being said, yeah, who knew?
Yeah, the Subi.
First of all,
that was
the promotion for that car, wasn't it?
That was
actually
the Subi STI, the STI hatch.
Yeah, the STI hatch. That was the premiere of the STI hatch, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because obviously these fast movies also premiere new cars.
You know what I find hilarious though?
Mm-hmm.
That movie didn't push any of them cars on the street.
Well, the GTR to a degree.
No. I'm talking about that Subi. Remember, that Subi was like, this is like the new hero car. Dude, nobody bought that car.
Because you know what it is? Here's the problem.
Because everybody thought it was a Scirocco or a Golf.
No, but you know what? Here's the problem with that. Here was my problem with them trying to do that. It's like you've already established pretty much since Too Fast, Too Furious that the Skyline is Brian's hero car. You can't push the Subaru STI as his new hero car because it just doesn't fit him because even as a character, that car doesn't fit Brian.
I'm gonna say in Brian's case, the Subi hatch in this movie, that was his RX-7 that Vin had.
Yeah, it was a
car that you had in one movie and we never see it again.
It was the most temporary fucking hero car because that shit got wrecked in the fucking damn final fucking showdown and shit. So you already knew that wasn't coming back in the next movie because sure as shit, what happens in the next movie? We got 2 iterations of the Skyline that pops up in the next movie.
That motherfucker was balling through them. He was balling through those El Chapo tunnels, niggas. So
you know what? Yeah. And I take it. You know what? I'll take it back. There were people that did buy that car, but you had more people that went for the 2015 Subaru WRX.
I was about to
over the hatch.
I was about to say, I have to wait a half a decade for them to hop on that joint.
I mean, because it's like I like the WRX, but I did like the STI hatch, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I understood why nobody got it. Let me put it that way. I'm not a Subaru fan.
It could be because of the design of it.
Nobody didn't want it. Yeah, again, because it looked like every other hatchback.
It looked like the Mazda 5.
To me,
you want to know?
To me, like I said, I stand by it. To me, it looked like it actually looked like a Volkswagen hatchback to me.
What the like
I said, it looked like a Golf. It looked like a Golf. It looked like a Rabbit, a Passat, a Scirocco. It looked like one of them. It didn't look like what it was. Man.
Scirocco with edge, more speed.
I will say.
Look.
I will say that anyone that's looking for the WRX, that CB hatch from 2009, yeah, you're gonna be looking for that one because I saw what they tried to do with it in current year. Gross. It's an SUV at this point.
Yeah. You know,
They do that to a lot of them.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Like D said, Brian really. I mean, Dom literally almost landing a dude's engine on his face to get answers is kind of funny in a way. It's like
Again, that's some Batman stuff. So
fear of God shit. But nah, I like how.
That's why I said this movie gave him his superpowers.
I like how Brian literally has the truck, has the H2 in the LA impound. Makes sense. Gets this fucking not 10-second STI hatchback, fights it out with Dom. They make up because, you know, hey, they need to get Braga. And then all this.
Don't say they make up, because in my head,
begrudgingly make up.
Yeah, when you say they make up, in my head is them taking off shirts, one of them turning around. That's what I see when you said that.
Also,
like, first of all, you decide to hide.
Brian's the one that turned around. If that makes you feel better.
First of all, when you decide to hide $1.2 million or $2 million worth of drugs in an impound, in a police impound lot.
LA impound at that.
I mean, smart. That's the last place anybody's gonna look.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
and you were able to get a car out of there too.
I'm just laughing at how they go through the whole thing of we're gonna meet with Braga as Brian's girl is finally getting the countdown on who the prints are, and I'm like, yeah, that's very convenient. You mean to tell me after you gave him the prints, it took you that goddamn long to lock down the prints off that shit?
I'm mad that not only did he was locked down, they went right to go in. Like, but we didn't get
easy, chill.
I don't care. Do it anyway.
Because they don't like Brian.
And just as that happened, guess what's coming through the wire?
That's not Braga.
It's not him. Oh,
you find out it's Ortiz. Ortiz's character is actually the real Braga. And
like
he does
Campos.
that.
That man went with the code name Campos.
I'm like, all right, movie, sure.
Campos is Braga. Like, oh no. Oh my God! No, we're about to make a mistake.
So basically, Brian.
No, wait, can I say the line real quick? Wait. Let me say the line. Hey, let me ask you something. Were you wearing pink ties and suits when you was coming up in El Barrio? My man had nothing to say.
That was a long, unnecessary Mexican standoff of staring, where it's like,
you thinking what I'm thinking? He ain't Braga.
So I just like how Brian and Dom, being the heroes of the movie, decide to go with the most batshit insane idea. We're going to go to the actual country, kidnap this man who has like 50 to 100 people deep.
A literal army. A literal
army. And we're going to corner him inside the church as he goes there every Sunday at 9 a.m. to pray. And we're going to
you know what I call that? You know what I call that? When they tried to do the believable third act from Bad Boys 2.
I was just about to say
it is.
You try to make the third act from Bad Boys 2 believable in a Fast and Furious franchise.
And it almost
gets
there if not for the fucking scene where in the desert and it's 50 cars versus 2 cars and Dom is one man armying all them fucking shits with a shotgun.
This nigga is shoulder blocking the living crap out of everything. Pow. Reaching out, punching niggas in the face.
It's the shotgun to shoot the tires.
It's the shotgun, really.
No, shotgun, Corona power up, and
Brian out in front trying to dodge with his His STI is not even bulletproof because the fucking mirrors are getting shot up. His whole car is getting fucked up.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know how he did it, but Laz was on his ass the entire time.
It's like if you're playing somebody who is a competitive Madden player and you somehow are making the game close for no fucking reason. That was Brian and Laz the whole movie. He is on his ass through those tunnels like, bro, I know these tunnels. That's cute. You really think you can fucking juke me in this? Nah, that's not going to work.
He tried to do it several times. I know who did get juked. Then, because he was about to go into a wall. All right, they got no time. Leap of faith. Punched my nigga out the car and drove off. My nigga out the car. Looks up.
First off, this was the most CGI intense ass fucking scene.
Oh,
Period.
I
that
can't
whole
believe
cave,
I'm saying
that whole
this.
cave chase was CG.
Now, granted, I saw behind the
Cannot believe he's
scenes.
saying this. D cannot believe he's saying this.
Mhm.
You know it's bad when Speed Racer looks more coherent than this shit. I was telling myself the whole time, all right, let's take out the fact that it's just CGI. Let's say this is real, D. What do you feel? I don't know where they're at. I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. I don't know this. I don't that. Like, exactly. I hated this scene so much, yo.
I mean, it's
I hated it.
nah, because to me, it was like the thing of you're watching it, it's chaotic as shit. You're trying to see like what's the because even the first time they go through the tunnel, you understand there's a little bit of maneuvering they have to go through to stay together because they have to time it to get on the other side.
Mhm.
But in this scene, it's the action scene. It's so chaotic. You don't know. Okay, how did they know which way to turn? And
Oh, especially at the end. How did you know that was the exit?
lucky guess because I'm white.
I saw, like, pow, I saw the script before this race.
So you didn't see the script. Last Lonzo when that fucking damn Challenger.
Okay, can decent.
The challenge, no, the Challenger, and you shooting point blank at the Challenger,
You know what
and you
gets
still get crushed.
my problem is because I saw this clip, and if anybody's seen the clip, it happened in Memphis. It happened in Memphis, where Repo Man was trying to snatch somebody's car, and the dude hopped in the car, rolled over the motherfucker that was trying to take his car, rolled up on the sidewalk, and drove off. So I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, of course, because he was in the line of the car. So when Laz is about to shoot Brian, you see the Challenger come up. You see Brian grab his leg as the Challenger coming right at him, and then it hits Laz. I'm like this. That just rolled over Paul.
Yes, it did. Unless Paul at the last second combat rolled out the way or some shit.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
wait a
That
minute. So wait a minute. Wait
rolled over
wait a
Brian.
minute. Wait a minute. You know, when I look back on that scene, I go, so this is how the ending of Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, went. Literally grabbed the bad guy by the leg and made him eat a whole combo.
I mean, nah, he ate he ate a hurricane kick and a shoryuken afterwards.
And a double Hadouken.
Actually, Eris, when you said that, I really thought you would say Lance Lonzo saw the Charger. Yeah! Are you ready?
I gotta be honest with you. If Fast Forward ended with that freeze frame of a kick and a car doing this, I'll be like 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Cinema.
Chris, take your glasses off like Scorsese.
Cinema.
That is cinema. I would have.
We'll be back for Fast 5.
Lance Lonzo looking at as the Challenger for some reason looks big as hell now. Pow pow pow. Credits directed by Justin Lin. I'll be like, this is the greatest action movie of all time.
Nah, what we got was apparently Laz's gun doesn't go through the car and kill Vin as he's doing the fucking.
I like how this nigga has been Hawkeye the entire movie. All of a sudden, Stormtrooper aim, pew 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 at the car that's coming directly at him.
And Vin Diesel calls him a pussy. I'm like, dude, you killed him with a car.
Yes, big man. Yes, big man. He'll use the whole ass car to hit a man. Who he is a vagina. You're right.
So it's like, what are we doing here? Oh my god, man. So yeah, basically, they get Braga, get him in custody, and Dom is in the court, and Brian is sitting up there with old girl, and he's all like, all right, this Dom is coming home. And
by the way, real quick, y'all, that weird scene with him and Jordana Brewster just starts fucking around the end of the movie was just weird to do.
Well, he has 3 days of retirement, so you gotta get the obligatory sex scene in there, because
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. It was just like Like when I saw her sitting on the counter, him taking off his shirt. Here's me. Oh, okay, they're having intercourse. Okay.
Now see the intercourse is great.
With with Dom in the background.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing
First off, you know what
weird
happened.
about that.
First off, you know Dom was like, "I'll give you guys some balloon time."
And also, Eris, you know how D is, because you know I ain't shit. Yeah, Paul Walker, have fun banging that hot Jordana Brewster. Shut up, I don't like any more than you do.
You don't like Jordana Brewster, sir?
Dude, it ain't, look, Chris, it ain't 2005. Shut up. Stop.
I mean, 2000, you mean 2001?
It ain't 2000, thank you, Eris. It ain't 2001 no more, all right, man?
I forgot Jordana.
This is not Steven. Look, this is not Steven Weber in the 80s. This is Steven Weber in the 2000s. Okay,
I think it is wild for a woman that's like half Brazilian, half white. Like it's like the white part of her is just oozing out of her way more than the Brazilian part of her.
I agree.
That's kind of crazy to me.
Nah,
it just kind of shocked me because when somebody pointed out, "Oh yeah, her mom's Brazilian," I was like, I don't see a speck of Brazilian in her. Like, goddamn, like
her mom kept all of it.
That's a white woman, nigga.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like her dad's white. That's why I was like, huh. All right, cool. But nah, like him and Jordana, they're sitting behind there, and Dom is being sentenced, and he was like, and like Sue said, the judge is like, yeah, one good deed doesn't erase all the fucked up shit you do. So, yeah, life in prison with no parole.
You know this movie. You know this movie makes so many references to the first movie. Like that moment, for example, when Vin said, "I spent 2 years in Lompoc. I'll die before I go back." And fast forward to this movie, the judge gives him life in Lompoc.
Yeah, you know, and as Vin got that
I was also going to mention also during that, because we only mentioned briefly about the Mexican the shenanigans in Mexico of stealing the gas and all that stuff. The cops apparently raided all the garages and all the crap looking for Dom, and that's when Dom just breaks off the team that he had and tells everybody, "Hey, go your separate ways." And again, we keep getting that reference from Han in that movie. I heard they're doing some crazy stuff out in Tokyo. I think I'll go check it out. And I'm like, but he never went.
I cracked up. I was like,
because I was like,
connection. The connection.
And for me, it's like, no, he still didn't go to Tokyo.
He didn't.
He didn't go to Tokyo. You get the fifth movie. Still didn't go to Tokyo.
Well, because they literally...
Eris,
it took 3 movies.
I'm starting to think that this storyline is kind of fractured and everywhere. What are you talking about?
And I said it again. It took him 3 movies to finally go to Tokyo.
Because here's the thing. You end up realizing that the order of these movies is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, then Tokyo Drift, then 7, 8, 9, and onwards. And it's like, wow, that's a real roundabout way to get back to Tokyo Drift through the end of 6. Right. Ooh, sure.
Would Dom be considered a terrorist or a crime lord?
Crime ring.
Yes.
I say a crime ring.
No, it's yes. It's just yes.
Both of them.
It's just yes. He's on a list. That's all you need.
I don't know. After Fast 5, he's a terrorist at that point because you don't drag a fucking safe through fucking Brazil, and that's terrorist activity.
You rip up an entire city. Dragging a safe out of a corrupt police station.
Well, apparently one good cop sounds about right.
And then you come up with a highly believable storyline that your tech guy Tej decides to order the exact same safe just so they can pull the switcheroo.
Because Tej had another life before he met these guys. So.
All right. According to 2 different sites I went to, it's the Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Fast and Furious, then Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, then Tokyo Drift, then then Furious 7, then Furious 8. I mean, the Fate of the Furious, then Hobbs and Shaw, then F9, and then Fast 10.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm going with that. I guess.
And the way that Hobbs and Shaw ended, we getting a sequel or nah?
Yeah, apparently we are. We actually
I
are.
don't want no. God, why?
I do. I want to see more Rock and his wacky family and Roman Reigns spearing somebody.
Chris. What are you getting out of this?
Fun.
No, shut the fuck up. No, stop.
Fun.
What are you getting out of this?
Fun.
Don't you say fun.
Fun.
Don't you use no vague words of magic.
It's not vague words. These are facts.
I want to know who is this super secret high tech organization that's after Hobbs. Like, they know who he is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which I am pretty sure.
Shadow organization.
They're
going to pull out of their butts.
No, what Fast and Furious dark Illuminati is after
Here's
these people?
Here's the dirty secret. I guarantee you this next Hobbs and Shaw movie, because apparently this is the one that takes place before Fast.
No,
it's after.
We're not doing a prequel again, are we?
So I guarantee you, it is somebody that's connected to Jason Momoa's character.
Of course.
Probably.
Yeah, it's his cousin.
Yeah, some goofy shit like that. Which, by the way, if you told me Momoa as Joker in Fast 10 was great, I would have told you to get the fuck out of my face. But it's great.
And I said it to you when we saw the movie, bro, Jason Momoa was the Joker this entire movie.
Nah, fuck all that, yeah. Let's just call it what it is, man. Let's just be real. We need Hauser back.
Well, Hauser came back, didn't he? Carl Hauser come back. Then he came. The one that was in the second movie.
Carter Verone.
Cole Hauser. I'm the Cole Hauser.
We need Carter Verone and DK to link up somehow, somewhere.
I already told you. The way, if they really want to go Avengers-esque with this movie, you bring back Carter Verone, you bring back DK, you get cyborg twin Johnny Tran, and there you go.
No, you know what's gonna happen? We gotta. Here's what's gonna happen.
See, yes. Get Phoenix to come back.
No, because here's the thing.
Get Phoenix to come back. You get clone Johnny Tran. I don't know.
Here's the sick part. They probably would do some shit
get his twin brother Jimmy Tran.
It's like we gotta fight Jason Momoa and his craziness. He has the God hand. He has God mode. How do we fight him? Well, we need more evil people, and they get Carter Verone to help out the gang because Carter Verone somehow
saying this, Chris, we already went to space.
Yeah,
we go to Mars.
We went to first of all, they went to space. They took on a submarine in the Antarctic.
Yeah, they did. Gal Gadot has the same sub that was used.
Yeah, and Gal Gadot got the same sub.
How did she get this fucking sub?
Mr. Nobody. No, that's what's going to happen. Mr. Nobody's going to come back.
And then Scott Eastwood comes back and is like, "Yay, guys, I'm back."
It's funny. It's funny. I don't
Mr. Nobody's
cry.
boss, played by Sam Elliott.
I don't want to cry, but I kind of do. Like, I kind of do. This is retarded.
Look, man, not as retarded as... Look, let me tell you something, folks. The ending to Fast and Furious, I remember sitting there in the theater, and Eris was right there. Sue was right there, and he was laughing. So Vin is on the bus going back, and we see the NSX. We see Brian in the Charger, and we see Don Omar and Tejo in the on the IROC Z, and basically they clearly about to bust Dom out. And I remember like, oh shit, this is how they're gonna end. They're gonna bust Dom out and then credits, right? Nah, they just speed up in front of the bus and credits, and I'm like, no, you can't. Is there after credits from this?
Directed by Jason Lin. That was by Justin Lin. That was always so. I
was feeling some way because it's like, because again, you got to realize this was the point where when it came to movies, we didn't know if we were going to get another one. We didn't know. I mean, I guess you could say they probably were going to go full tilt and doing Fast 5, but we didn't know what the fuck that was going to look like. There was no guarantee.
And the fact that we had to wait 2 years.
And that was the thing, because it ain't like now where stuff gets greenlit automatically as a sequel because they want to keep the franchise going and stuff. This was like uncertainty, basically. You know, especially when you end Tokyo Drift off with Dom and fucking old boy racing, and that was the end of that movie with that team.
And you know what? And a crime against humanity. We still didn't see that race.
Well, we sort of did. Vin won.
No, we
There you
didn't.
go.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
No,
we just saw Ready, Seto, go, and then cut to. Hey, Han told me he was fast. Whew, I ain't never met anybody that fast. Yeah, it would have been nice if we could have actually seen it.
Well, you know, show don't tell, tell don't show.
Nah, stupid.
Yeah.
It's a Fast and Furious movie about racing, and you don't show the race. That's stupid, Chris.
That should have told you all you need to know where the franchise is going forward. We don't show no
The
fucking
franchise
races
told me
anymore.
everything that I needed to know, like from the second movie. All right.
Because I like how Fast Five begins literally
Chris,
with the
I'm with
radio.
Varys on this. I'm sorry, I'm with Varys on this. This movie has no camouflage index at this point, man. How are you still getting surprised by this shit?
No, I'm just saying at the time I was surprised, but I just remember going back and watching this movie, especially seeing it and stuff. You kind of watch it and you see like why some people kind of see it as sort of the weak series, and even though most people say Tokyo Drift is, but it's kind of like, all right, I kind of see why it's kind of sort of forgettable a little bit in the timeline, because it's like it didn't have some, like Tokyo Drift had Han, obviously. That's the thing that grabbed you, right? Fast and Furious was just like, hey, the gang is back again, and that was it. That was really what Fast and Furious was. It was just bringing the gang back together for another random shenanigans. But it was really Fast Five that put it up there on the map on franchises, basically. You know, kind of like the Fast and Furious is the pregame, essentially.
I'm sorry, Chris. I hear a lot of standing, and it's okay. I really do. I'm gonna keep it real for you, Chris, and I mean this as much as possible. This is the weakest one because people don't talk about it.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's shocking considering.
Plain
That's what I'm saying. Shocking considering people felt Tokyo Drift was the weakest.
Hold on, and I'm not done. Tokyo Drift is down there too because people just don't like it.
Nah, people
Plain and
didn't like. No. I will say that, but I will say there's a lot of revisionist history. See,
No. I'm not adding
No.
revisionist history. I'm leaving that out of this conversation.
Yeah, but I was gonna say when it came out, people didn't like it because there was nobody
there.
The
Yeah,
first,
of course.
Yeah, from the first two movies. However, as time has passed, people love Tokyo Drift.
I call bull. I understand that, but I say no for only one reason. The reason why people still don't watch it is because of what you just said, Chris.
Yeah, because nobody from the previous.
Nobody's
now,
in it.
Oh, now hold
It has
on.
the,
Now hold
it
on.
has the least
Now give me a second.
connective tissue to all the rest of them.
It's
too.
the least. It's the least one. But give me a second here. If they went with an anthology of just being a Fast and Furious storyline that's not like deeply connected to anything, it's just a series of movies. This I could have seen getting a sequel in some kind of way because it was originally supposed to be just a straight up spinoff, like of the franchise. Like, because think about it, you could have kept this going. You could have kept the Tokyo story going.
Yeah, but it didn't. That's
I know,
what I'm saying.
and I know it didn't because
To
of the
this
test
day-
audience, and they threw in Vin Diesel. He pretty much commandeered the entire franchise from here on out.
It doesn't really. And my point is this, though. My point is that the pretty much the first four had its own set of. That's actually probably the best example. Much like the Halo series, but when the last Halo game came out, what they found out was they had two sets of fan bases.
Mm-hmm.
The first fan base were people that were there from the very beginning, so they saw Halo as one thing. The other half was all the people that showed up there when it went from Bungie to the other studio.
314,
343, whatever their name was. But those people knows those line of games, and that's all they know. So they had no choice but they had to find a way how to appease both sides. So yeah, the same that when it got to the Fast series, the split off to me was 5. Because there's a lot of people that believe the first 5 are the best one, and everything after that was trash. And then we got people who are like, yeah, the first 5 were cool, but did you see the rocket ship? oh, did you see it? Did you see it? That's how they, so you have two fan bases who are yelling at each other. One half going, can we calm it down? And the other half going, give me my porn. So it's going to be a split right there. And I think that the first 5, especially 4 and 3, is going to have to take that hit. Unfortunately, it's going to have to take the hit as the 2 movies that nobody really likes like that, which is very interesting to me because it's very interesting to me in the sense of how the quality is now compared to those 2. Because 4, as much as I don't like 4, oh my God, I missed how this felt. Mm-hmm. I actually missed how this felt before I had the knowledge of, oh my God, D, there's going to be a scene where a tank comes crashing down on a bridge and the bridge does not give way. Sir, I don't know. Solid, we don't know that yet. Sir, we don't know that yet.
That is solid building. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. We didn't know how wacky this was going on the rest of it.
You're talking about somebody who foot stomped concrete and caused a whole parking garage to go down.
Fast 7.
Sir, physics.
Fast 7.
You don't believe in physics. You got family on your side.
Fast 7.
No. Chris, you said it. No, wait, D, hold on. Chris, you said that wrong. First of all, it's not about that. It's not about family. It's the one thing about street fights. The streets always win. Go ahead, D.
Fast 7 actually might be, pound for pound, the actually worst movie of the whole series. And I have seen people that will pick up pitchforks, guns, and throw their baby at you because they love 7 so much. So we're in a weird. So from here on out, we're about to have fun with this series. I'm dead serious about that. We're about to have real fun with this series because I'm not holding back at this point because everything before this shit, revisionist history. Why are we so bad at this? Lucas Black is dry, but he wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? It's cool. Everything from here on out, no, it's retardedness. Just madness, complete madness, and I'm ready for it. So that's all I had to say, man. I get why. Here's one thing I will ask, though, just real quick. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that you guys are very defensive of it, but I noticed with this movie, just like 3, there is this level of fuck you, these movies are good. Is it because y'all really believe in these movies? Just being real.
I think for me,
this is not knocking y'all. This is what I really want to know.
It's just one of those things where I can appreciate they just stayed committed to just what the fucking series, just how wacky it is, and they just didn't care. And I don't think they went into it with the whole idea of like, we're just want to make a shitty thing. It was like, no, we got the story. This is the story we're telling, and hey, take it or leave it.
No, it's very simple, dude. I'm gonna take the Austin O'Brien line from Last Action Hero and say, D, these are the sequels. They're supposed to be stupid.
Yeah, that too.
And this is why, Eris, this is your forehead. Thank you. Thank you. What D has always been doing in 3 Black Geeks is trying to convince Chris, just say it's dumb, Chris. And Chris like, no, it's not. Eris go, D, it's not dumb. It is classically trained to be stupid. I'm like, thank you.
That is all it is.
Yeah, like trying to be anything but what it is. That's all it is.
It's legit like dumb. I mean, every single one of these movies has to prove its point by how much dumber they can get.
Boy, it's like the brains of these movies are just like a flexing muscle and nothing more.
Real quick, since didn't bring it up. This movie soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack was like D said, a lot of
very 2009-ish.
Very Miami. I like the fact that MIA is on this soundtrack needs to tell you.
Right, you remember when MIA was a thing?
All I want to do is pop, pop. Remember when we was like, ding! Remember we was like, yo, MIA, you cool as hell. And she was like, yes, I'm Sri Lankan, not black. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, I'm Sri Lankan. I'm not one of you. We know that.
Didn't she say some racist ass shit, and that's where she just kind of went?
Yeah, she kept drawing that line. It's like, okay, then stop doing our music.
Mm-hmm. And she did.
And she did.
She did. That's why we haven't heard from. Actually, I don't know what she's doing right now. I think she's still getting.
And the thing,
She got to be still getting residuals off of Paper Planes, man.
Oh, of course.
He has to be.
and the thing.
That's just that's
and like
that
and the,
shit still
and like
go.
and the thing. We sacrificed Create Sean for her.
You know what's the best? You know what the best
Betrayed.
though? You know what's the best though about this soundtrack?
Greatest anime betrayal ever. Top 10.
You know what's great about the soundtrack though? The fact that Pitbull was probably only in 2 songs, but all the songs sounded like Pitbull was on them. That was the best part. Also, there was an abundance of Little John in this, but this was that weird Little John that was doing shit more like reggaeton and shit, and not regular.
Lil Jon had his
This
hands
was-
on a lot of shit.
Lil John, I gotta be real with you. That is
He stayed getting work. He stayed working. People
yeah.
thought that he just disappeared. It's like, no, he was still doing songs. He was just in different genres.
Oh, now he's done.
Oh, now he's done.
Now he's done. And I don't know. I'm not talking about the cute. Oh, Pharrell's going power gliding. No. He's done doing this shit. I feel like Lil Jon is. I feel like I do have this weird gut feeling that one day I'm gonna say, "Hey, Lil Jon, how you doing today?" Yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm talking like this. This nigga Republican like shit. Like I got this. It's in the gut. Like ooh. Lil Jon one of them niggas. So you having that Confederate flag in that one album, that was real, wasn't it?
It's like, all right, man.
Put it this way. D's not saying that. I just got an eyeball on John. I'm keeping one eyeball on that nigga.
We're looking at you. See ya. We know what you're about. So yeah, that's Fast and Furious 4. I mean, it is what it is. What we got next, sir?
Well, next week, guys, I thought I was going to do something else, and I decided to do something else. And I decided us to do something that we have been dodging for years, actually. Ladies and
movie
gentlemen.
riffing?
Oh, no. We need to do another riff, by the way. We have to. We definitely need a riff.
The first one went off without a hitch, which is good.
I got a Godfrey Ho loaded in the chambers.
But our next movie review, both of y'all guys are going to go, oh, my God, finally. We are doing the Paul Verhoeven classic Total Recall. We have dodged Total Recall
Get your
for
ass to
years.
Mars.
It's time. It's fucking time, man.
As Arnold pulls a tracker out of his nose in the most gnarly, that kind of shit. So
3 titties, nigga.
the 3 titties thing kind of just diminished when that remake came out, didn't it?
Because it didn't hit the same.
Yeah, that remake was something. I remember they hyped up that remake on some like, see guys, we got the 3 titties. That's what you want, right? I'm like, but Total Recall was more than the 3 titties, so you're kind of missing the point here. But yeah,
we're talking complete mark missing.
But I remember it took me a minute to really understand Total Recall because, like I said, you're watching it as a kid. You're trying to understand, I guess, grasp, like what the movie really is and stuff, so to speak. And it took me until like I hit middle school, going into high school, to really understand what the movie was about.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's all good, but I'm definitely glad we're doing Total Recall because, yeah, I'm happy. Can't wait. So, you got anything, D? Before we leave out of here?
Oh, what about Total Recall?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I'm ready for us to talk about Arnold going, that part,
Put the cookie down.
No, we have not. We're getting close to put the cookie down territory. We haven't touched kindergarten.
Real quick,
It's weird.
real quick, out of Arnold's, are we going to ever touch Twins?
Waterman? Eric says no.
My silence is telling me the answer.
Yeah, so Twins and Junior is not happening then. Good.
I like Twins more than Junior. That's just me.
Nobody likes Junior.
Junior was just too weird for me.
No, Junior is what right-wing red state voting folks thought that the world was turning into.
Go be a whole lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger's birthing children.
That's what they thought.
What?
That's what
Gotta
they,
be.
that's what they
be the
thought. That's what they
Yeah.
thought the country. That's what they thought the country was going in the direction of under the Biden administration.
I mean,
I
whatever.
like how Donald Trump literally told
That
everybody.
movie would be, if that movie was released today, that movie would have been screened woke a million times over.
Where did our Arnold Schwarzenegger go? He's not manly.
This was see what they did. They feminized him.
Yep.
They feminized him. They
Also,
went inside of his brain and gave him a femmy pussy.
I like how out of all the Republicans, and I'm putting that in quotes here, Arnold is the only Republican to basically be like, why do you guys love Nazis? I don't understand this.
That's because he grew up. Because remember, he grew up with his dad being one. He also grew up sympathizing with them until one day living in America. What the fuck is wrong with me? They're the bad guys, and he justified it because that was.
I
his
grew up in
dad.
Austria.
And
like,
I you know what? In a weird way, I understand where Arnold was coming from. That was my dad. I loved him. So of course, I see my dad doing something negative. I'm going to try to justify that shit. But no, it was wrong then, and it's definitely wrong now.
mhm.
And I don't want to live that way. And I give Arnold that thing, man. Hey, that's difficult. I will say, I really
Oh, it has to
understand.
be difficult.
It's difficult for white people to not only cope with that shit, but then to turn yourself out of that corner. Now, is Arnold all the way woke? Probably not, but he ain't a Nazi.
That's the bare minimum. It's like Jesus.
The bare minimum is that. What do you think of black people? I think they are fine. What about the Jews? The Jews? They okay. Like, you know, yeah, that actually takes work for some niggas. So I applaud them for that. Yeah, but whatever.
But
But
yeah,
I really wanted us to do Total Recall. No, not to hurry up and get to that weird remake. The remake to me could have
I
worked.
get what it was trying to do, but I think the advertising, like I told before you
The
stepped
advertising
away,
killed it. Yeah, you're right.
what I told you once we stepped off, I like how everybody was doing this whole, see, we got the 3 titty lady. It's cool, right? I'm like,
It's all coming
Yeah.
back to it. What about the Quado? See, the Quado is different in this one.
it took away the element that we like, Quado.
Yeah, he was like all mucusy. And this one is like clean and shit.
Yeah, Total Recall was definitely one of those like it was that sci-fi that had that very sort of like this is what they thought the future was going to look like kind of vibe to it and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though now we're getting those elements and stuff like the video call kind of stuff and things like that, but it was a very dirty sort of future on Mars and just the way it looked and stuff. And now it's like the opposite because we get clean future now. And stuff.
And that's the weird thing. I think clean future, you can do clean future, but you have to do clean future with what's the underbelly.
Yeah,
You know,
like Demolition Man.
yeah, thank you. Demolition Man was probably the best example of that. This is clean. Let's dig 2 inches under the surface and see what happens.
Oh, the sewers. That's why they don't go in the sewers because
Man, there's a crazed Dennis Leary down there just talking.
eating rat burgers.
Dennis Leary and the Duster.
I don't think he has anything important to say to us. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Eating fucking rat burgers, and it's like, all right, cool, all right, in a Budweiser.
I mean, who knows? It might be all right. Put some hot sauce on it. It might be all right.
Maybe. Hey, look, don't knock it till you tried it. While in Rome.
It's like a rat burger, huh? I was like, all right, I'll take one rat burger, hold the tail.
Sir, we are in unprecedented times. We might be getting to that point where the New York rat population might drop because egg prices and grocery prices going up. So now, rat burgers on the menu.
We here at McDonald's said, what if we can reuse our own pest? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the double rat burger, available at all McDonald's.
There's gonna be 4 or 5 of the niggas. You had that rat burger yet? That junk tastes good, man. Real. Now, look, you gotta put some sweet and sour sauce on that bitch, but it's good though.
Sir.
You gotta cut it with something.
Sir, we're in DC. You gotta put some mumble sauce on it.
No.
Capital City mumble sauce.
Actually, guys, hold on. See, that's where you're wrong, Chris. We've been putting a bubble sauce on rat for years down here. If you had a carry out once And that thing and the wings were a little bit too big. Ben, we both went on and look.
You know what? Hey, that shit's down to the bones though. Once it's all said and done.
Yes, it is. One more thing. Yes, Brian, we did do the Highlander anime. We did it. We did it in 2016, 17. I'm not really sure, but we did the whole Highlander franchise, and that was a part of it. So we definitely did do that.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, Total Recall. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah. So we see you guys next week.